Hey everyone, so it's the election season and we are all ripe and ready to vote this coming 9th May. Since it's that time of the year, I thought I would share with you my first experience with the election. No, I'm not talking about the first time I casted my vote, I'm talking about the first time I experienced the election phenomena as a kid back in 1995. So before I start telling this story, I just want to remind everyone that I am not siding with any party and this is not a paid propaganda kind of video. I'm just trying to tell you the story of what happened to me when I was 9 years old. I tried to look at this story from the point of view of a very innocent kid that has no idea what the heck is going on. So when I was a kid, I liked to go on joyrides in a car with my mom. My mom would actually drive us out and we would go around town and look at the lights and the building. I would sit in the back seat and as I watch the city goes by from the car window. One time in 1995, suddenly this all changed. It was election season. Of course, at that time I did not know what it is, but suddenly there were a lot of flags and posters and banners pasted everywhere around town. So I remember asking my mom, "Mommy, what is that?" And my mom only said one word: election. I had no idea what that word meant. My mom tried to explain to me as much as she can about the democratic process, the electoral thing. At the time, I wasn't even paying attention because I was looking at all the pretty flags and I couldn't be bothered with anything else. So this election season, or as my 9-year-old self would call it, the flag season, it went on for quite a bit until I went to school. And one day, the teacher actually gave us an assignment and she actually told all of us, draw a logo. So I went home, gave it a bit of thought, and decided to draw one of the logos that I saw on the flags outside. As a 9-year-old kid, I love rocket ships. I decided to draw the rocket logo. I remember going back to school the next day to show my friends the logo that I drew. And all my other friends drew some really typical stuff. They drew Nike, Adidas, Mercedes-Benz, and all the other normal logos that you will always see out there. I felt I was unique. I was the only one who drew a logo that I saw on the flag, and everyone else just went with the normal thing. So I thought this is an easy A for me lah. So as I passed my homework to my teacher, I could see the smile on her face immediately disappear and it became one of infernal rage. She immediately lost her shit.
Why did you draw this? What do I have to draw this?
I became immediately so confused as I did not know how to answer her at all. To me, that logo meant nothing, but to her, it was a big deal. I had no idea what was going on, but all I knew was that she was extremely furious that I drew a rocket logo.
What is this?
That's my logo, teacher.
Why did you draw this logo?
Because I like rockets. And that may have made the situation way worse for me because I keep telling her I like rockets. The more I said it, the more angry she got. So after that, the teacher continuously tried to get a proper reason other than I like rockets. But I couldn't anymore because I was in a state of confusion. All I could do was stammer. To me, I drew the rocket logo because it was easy to draw. And number two, because I'm a 9-year-old kid, and which 9-year-old kid don't like rocket ships? At this point, right, I was already in tears because I had no idea why the teacher was so angry at me. I was so frightened and my hands were actually shivering. But at that point, the teacher didn't care and she actually took a new piece of paper and slammed it on my table.
Draw a new logo!
Which one?
The blue color one!
So she wanted me to draw a logo from the other flag, the blue color one. And as a 9-year-old kid, to me that logo was a little harder to draw because there were way more lines and I couldn't remember how it actually looked like in my head. To me, it was like a couple of upside down ice creams or upside down parachutes. So because I told the teacher I can't draw it because I can't remember, what she did next was pretty amazing lah. She actually asked my other classmate to go outside, grab a flag that he can find hanging on the fence and bring it in for me to use as reference to draw. My classmate friend went out, get the flag and brought it back into the classroom for me to draw. I can tell you the whole class was so quiet as I was crying, drawing at the same time. I remember struggling because drawing that logo was pretty hard and also because that flag had a lot of blue in it. So I remember breaking a few blue colored pencils to complete the whole blueness of it. My classmate next to me actually had to loan me a few of his blue colored pencils for me to complete the thing. So eventually I finished the drawing with my eyes swollen and my hands shaking. The teacher took the drawing from me and that was it and said nothing. And she did not even explain to me why this logo was more important and nicer than the other one. To make things worse, my mom was actually called to the school right after that. She also got into trouble because she had to explain to a few people why I did a logo. And apparently none of the adults understood that I was just a 9-year-old kid who likes rocket ships. I went home later that day, I had a talk with my mom, but I can't remember what she said to me because I was way too frightened and way too sad because that was literally one of the worst days of my life in primary school. I was too confused to be accepting anyone's logic that day. Maybe what I did was idiotic, but all I could say is that because I was a kid and I had no idea what any of these logos signify and what their significance are. So to the adults, they were pretty, excited about it. But for me as a kid, I just like rocket ships. And I got into trouble for it. Maybe I should just call it Spills Dildo lah, just make everyone happy, but then I might get in trouble with my mom lah. I just want to say that let kids be kids and leave the politics to the adults and let's just not mix these two up. I don't think they really understand when they see these logos and when they see these people and when they see the X's. They don't really understand what is it all about because I don't think they understand how the depth of what true politics are. Like me back in 1995, as a kid, we don't know any better. And you see lah, I had one of the worst days of my life. But if you're an adult, do go out and vote this 9th May and exercise your right to vote because that is what I will be doing. And this time, as an adult, of course lah, I know what these logos now mean. I'll be doing my best to vote wisely and so should you. #Pulang Mengundi. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe if you like this story. Selamat mengundi. I'll see you again soon.